What's up guys, it's Roger and welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to use your Blink in Trials of Osiris on the Burnout. Now the Burnout is a pretty good map for our Blink, pretty high open ceilings, so we don't have to worry too much about bumping our little noggins, but we can shoot our enemies pretty well, get behind them well with our Blink shotgun playstyle like we're going to be using today, and it just works very well on this map, so we love to see that. But what build are we going to use on this map? Well, the big hero today is going to be the Syncopation 53. Now with this most recent update we got when we got Festival of the Lost, a lot of changes went into the game for pulse rifles, and here are those changes. So just in general to all pulse rifles, they rebalanced the effect of the handling across pulse rifles, so that gave us some better handling by 5% at the high end. That's mostly affecting lightweights and adaptives, so the Syncopation being an adaptive did get a nice little handling buff there. And then after that, it said reduce the effects of handling by 2% at the low end. So that's mostly going to affect the high impacts and the rapid fires. So overall, a win there for the adaptive frames. We go down more and it says adjusted damage fall off scale based on the range stat. So 0 range is reduced meters from 16 to 15 there, and then 100 range is unchanged. Now we have about 70 range stat here, pretty darn good, so for the most part it's probably pretty unchanged there. And specifically for adaptives, we have increased the precision multiplier from 1.6 times to 1.65 times, so that crit damage is going to go from 30.4 to 31.4, so an extra damage there for each crit. Of course it's going to hit 3 times, so 3 extra damage there. You never know, that could stack up, especially when it comes to light levels being different, or your enemy is weakened, or whatever it may be in Trials. That can add up, and it's just nice to have a little bit of a buff for adaptives, because while something like the Syncopation, which we'll go over more in depth here really quick, is very good, a lot of other adaptives do kind of struggle. Now the Syncopation is so good because it's craftable, so we can get enhanced rangefinder here, combined with small bore and ricochet rounds. You're gonna have a crazy amount of range on this thing, 68 range, and it just goes crazy far. Moving target enhances what I used on here as well, so it's going to increase your movement speed and improve target acquisition when moving while aiming down sights, just to help you hit your enemy a little bit easier. Suro Synergy, of course, is a great origin trait here. Whenever you want to shoot some bullets out and then reload and then go right into a gunfight, for 5 seconds you're gonna get Suro Synergy procced, which is going to give you bonus handling and reduce incoming flinch for a short time. And of course in this current meta, when flinch is really annoying, it's very nice to have anything that can actually reduce the amount of flinch that you take. Go over our special gun really quick here. I have the Retool Tail Shotgun. I'm using a precision frame this week, and you can see this thing has 100 range. That's because of a combination of smoothbore, accurized rounds, and then this is my favorite perk combination right here, which is quick draw and snapshot. It just lets you take your shotgun out really quickly and then aim down sights onto your enemies very quickly. So I just love that combination, and it makes this thing an absolutely map machine. You can map people from so far away. Range masterwork there really top that off at 100 range, and this is a great shotgun. Go to the helm, go to the war table, and you can use your umbrals to get the weapons from the Dreaming City, and you can still get these retooled tails, and you have a chance to get one with this exact roll and get 100 range on it for yourself. I definitely recommend going and doing that at some point soon. For our exotic, I'm just kind of going for that very top tier Blink playstyle this week, so I am using Astrocyte Verse again. I used that last weekend too, but it's just so solid. Of course, when we come out of our Blinks, we're going to have 100 handling applied to whatever weapon we have, which doesn't really matter as much when we have quick draw on our shotgun, but it's still nice to have if we want to pull out the pulse rifle as we come out of Blink. Also, we can blink further and more frequently, which is awesome, and we can get our radar stay up during those blinks, so that's very nice to have too. We also get plus 30 to our in-air accuracy while we have Astrocyte Verse on. You can go ahead and check out the mods here if you would like to. Pretty good stuff, but I don't want to take too much time with this intro, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into our Void 3.0. Like I said, I want to keep this more brief than I have in past weeks, and I have used this setup very frequently often because it's just such a good solid setup for your Void Lock, so I'm just going to go through this really quickly. Super, I am using Nova Warp. I do think you should probably use a Nova Bomb if you're not fragging out a bunch, and even if you are fragging out a bunch, you're probably not going to get a roaming super in a Trials match before you finish it unless it goes to extended rounds, so just be wary of that. If you're not fragging out a bunch, just put on a Nova Bomb, and even if you are, probably putting it on anyways, but I just love Warp. We have Healing Rift, we have Blink of course, Pocket Singularity, please Bungie, give us back that middle tree melee, you know we want it. And then we have Scatternades here, pretty good part of our build, and I'll show you some good Scatternade plays throughout this video. We have Feed the Void here, so we can get Devour, that's 2 fragment slots. And then we have Child of the Old Gods, or as we know him around here, Clarence, which is another 2 fragment slots. He is very good for going out, locking down area, weakening our enemies, keeping them in place, and making them have to get away from reses. You know, it can make people not be able to res because they're taking damage. So many different things, and Child of the Old Gods is an amazing aspect. For our fragments, we have Echo of Dilation, so while crouch, you sneak faster and gain enhanced radar resolution. We have some raw stats there, you can't go wrong, and that enhanced radar is really why we love Echo of Dilation. If you use that to your advantage, you can very much break down where your enemies are to a T, and that really helps you know when you want to get aggressive with your shotgun very well. After that, we have Echo of Persistence. That's going to let our Devour go from a 10-second duration to a 15-second duration, which is very, very nice to have, of course. And then we are going to come over to Echo of Expulsion, so when we kill somebody with a Void ability Final Blow, they're going to explode a second time. Again, some more raw stats there, we'd love to see that. And to finish it off with Echo of Exchange, so melee Final Blows grant grenade energy. Of course, the scatter nades are pretty darn good on this map, and like I said, I'll show you some good plays with those, so we want to have them up as often as possible. So in combination with our Echo Exchange, we have our Devour kills, and then Clarence, we can get our grenades back very, very quickly. So that is the build. I was just going over it very briefly today in comparison to some past weeks where I know I've taken longer. If you have any questions about the specifics of anything, go ahead and leave those in the comment, or you can join my Discord server. It's called Blinkville or Blinkoweenville right now because, you know, it's Halloween, brother. We're spoopy right now. If you want to join that, it's going to be linked down in the description. I would love to have you and have a little conversation with you. But all that being said, I think we're ready to get in this gameplay, so why don't we go ahead and blink on into it. Alright, so if you've watched this series before, you know that depending on the map, I have different starts and a different amount of starts. On this map, there's various starts, and this is one of my favorites. We're going to blink up to this spot. You can see I'm taking shots at these guys, do very good damage to two of them. We already have Clarence out there because we get so fast to this lane that we can immediately slap a rift down before our enemies can get to the lane themselves. We follow up with our teammates here. They're taking out another one. I started going towards bridge here with my shotgun out because I wanted to cut off any escape they had going that way and get close range while my teammates pinch them. Make sure you're watching that kind of stuff. Now this is another start. I kind of messed up actually my momentum there with the blink towards mid, but you can get behind pillar there before your enemies can even get to where we started the last round. So when you do that, you can get ready with your scatter nade, and where I'm aiming right now is a perfect spot for scatter nades. Keep an eye open for your enemies on those points. Now I just kept out my syncopation because I thought somebody might push there. Once I had Clarence in there, I took a choice to blink forward aggressively with my shotgun. This guy kind of backed up, but once I bopped him up with my melee, I knew he'd kind of be stuck in midair or whatnot, so I could easily take some syncopation shots, and that's exactly what I did. Now I throw in my scatter nade here just in case they kind of drop down. It was kind of a bad nade to be honest, and especially where that guy is aiming on me with the Arbalist right now, people love to sit there and you can just smoke them. But look at that map with this shotgun. That's what I'm saying. Sure, he was missing up some health, but again, that was part of my play. You know, I got some health off of him. I went in with the shotgun and took him out. Now notice when I went up on bridge there where I blinked onto. You want to try to blink onto the sides of those bridges before you go onto your enemies. I have a video going over some sneaky blink spots, and when I covered this map, I went over those bridges because they're more intricate than you would think. If people are sitting back there, you need a second when you exit a blink before you can use your weapon. I'm going to pause really quick and just cover why I threw that scatter nade. I threw the scatter nade at the front of that shield, so that if they decided to run through that shield, they would be taking damage from it, maybe it gets a kill, and then I blink behind the shield and take them out with damage from the other side. Going back to those top bridges, I want to say you want to make sure you can land with some cover in front of you so that half a second before you can actually use your shotgun, like right here, I blink in, I can't use my shotgun, now I can. So I need to make sure I can actually have the distance to shoot my shotgun and take my enemies out. Now this is honestly some sloppy plays, to be completely frank with you, and sorry to call you Frank if that's not your name, but you know, I'm just being frank. Well, wait, no, you're not being frank, don't even worry about it. The point is, you need to make sure you're giving yourself the adequate either time, space, and or both when you are engaging on your enemy with an aggressive blink shotgun playstyle. When you have more range on something like a precision frame shotgun, as I am using today, then you can take yourself into a farther back position when aggressing on your enemies, right? You know, you have that range. Now, the reason I like lightweight frames, sure, you have to blink a little closer to your enemies, which can be riskier, but you have that extra speed boost to help you get on top of your enemies. So there is some give and take when it comes to using a lightweight frame shotgun versus not using one. Now, I am on 60 mobility today, right? Now, usually I tell you guys with your blink to be anywhere between 50 and 80 mobility. I do still think that is true, even with the introduction of a Blink Hunter into the game, where we got some Blink buffs. Now, even with those Blink buffs to the range, whatnot, of the Blink itself, that's nice, but you don't have to go crazy with the mobility still, you know, and I honestly have gone to the point where nowadays I tell you, pick what you're comfortable with. You know, when it comes to weapons, when it comes to your mobility level, if you are comfortable with that 60 mobile, even without your astrocyte first, then that's fine. Run that. I do it all the time. If you're not comfortable with anything but 100 mobile, then do that, especially if you're not going to be running your Astrocyte first. I would probably say if you don't have Astro on, do around 80 mobile at least, in my opinion, especially on Hunter. I think it is good to use those lightweight frames, have around 80 mobile, and then when you have the lightweight frames out, it'll take you to 100, and that's something very good that you can do on your Blink Hunter. But let's get back to the gameplay at hand. As you can see, I throw a scatter nade out there, I'm taking some shots. Now that I saw my teammate died, I thought, well, this guy might get aggressive. He didn't for a second, so I decided to blink forward and see if I could get a kill. I actually put him into the dirt under my feet, you know, spit on his dead body, fly forward, kill this next guy. I'm looking for the last one. I come in here, and my melee didn't lock onto this guy, and then he just throws a gooey ooey frickin' wither horde at his feet, and I was like, dude, your name is probably Manfred or something. Like, does anyone like you in real life? You're using wither horde. If you use wither horde, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to find the nearest cliff. I want you to walk right up to the edge. And then I want you to sit down on that cliff and just reflect life. And if you thought I was going to say anything worse than that, then, well, you know me pretty well then, because yeah, I was. But no, we're staying monetized today, boys. Do not even contemplate jumping off that cliff. You are a gift to this world. Unless you play Titan, in which case you are nothing but a nuisance. Anyways, looking here, this is a start I like to do. You can come to this right side. You can hide behind this pillar I'm at, slap a rift down, take that as a 3-peek, and watch the range of this. Do you see where that ghost is down there? And where I'm just shooting onto that enemy, that's 15 to the body right there. You need to understand this Syncopation with the roll that I had crafted has insane range. You can go from both sides of this map, complete range of this map, and do full damage almost. I think you actually can do full damage with crits even, and that's actually something that is crazy to think about, you know? When it's an adaptive frame and they do struggle, but this one is so solid. And that's the great part about this one. You can see me cutting off this guy with my scatter nade, throwing in the melee just in case I can bump him back, and then my teammate eats cheeks, and I'm like, dude, I need to bop some booty cheeks. So I'm flying in here, I'm getting these reses, I'm like, get up, boys. Somebody was commenting the other day, they were like, you know, Roger, I liked your commentary, but you weren't saying the word booty cheeks enough. And I said, you know what? I couldn't agree more, so let me just take a second to go booty cheeks, booty cheeks, booty cheeks. Oh, you know what's funny? You can see on the enemy team, there's this guy named Tuxbird. He used to be like a really big Rainbow Six Siege YouTuber, and I used to watch him every day when I played that game. And I saw him in my match, and it was the real him. I went and checked his stream after, and I was like, yo, is this guy streaming? This man has like 2 million YouTube subs, but like 84 people were watching him stream Destiny 2. Probably because, you know, people don't really watch the game as much anyways, but especially non-Destiny YouTubers playing it. It's just funny to me, and I was like, bruh. But he's using freaking, oh god, he was using some cringy stuff. He was floating with, what is it, Lawrence, I think it was, or Arbalest, and I was like, dude, I don't like you, and I think you should go crawl in a hole, please. You can see I got a pick with my Clarence there, so I have Devour procced. So what I want to do is take some shots at this guy. There we go. That's another kill with our Devour procced, and then another kill with our Devour procced. Look at our nade. It's already halfway back up, and that's the beauty of when you get that Devour procced, especially on the first kill. If you can keep going after that, you can really get your nade energy back very, very quickly. Now we're looking around here, we have Clarence, and we're just watching our radar when we can, trying to see where the enemies are, sliding into these engagements. Now unfortunately this guy does smack me with a no time. I know no time did get nerfed, and I actually have not got to try it yet, but I can tell you that it is going to still be very solid. I know some of you controller players were kind of confused as to why no time needed a nerf, and to put it simply for you, when you're on PC, on M&K, it was just too easy to use. You want some kind of challenge where you can actually have to control some recoil. With something like no time, even when you were getting shot with any kind of flinch, even with low resil, it wasn't really flinching at all. So yeah, that's that. You can see I got a good scatter nade play on that guy before. The reason I like scatter nades so much, and I'll tell you guys to use them, is because I see scatter nades as a sort of ranged shotgun. When I didn't have any shotgun ammo and that guy was pretty close to me, what I did was threw the scatter nade and then took some shots with my Syncopation. That's just going to blow his cheekies up, cheeky, and then I'm going to take some shots, take him out pretty easily. And if you saw the end of that last clip where my teammate was shooting with his SMG, I was like, ooh, look at this retold tail right here. It's just a beauty. You know how some weapons in this game just feel good? At first, I didn't like the retold tail. And then I started using it more, and I really love the feel of it. You see that nade that I threw right there? I was kind of telling you about that earlier. When you blink where I did right now, and this is how you start a round, if you know the enemy very much likes to play to the left where I threw that scatter nade, throw that exact scatter nade. What's going to happen is the enemy is going to go to their usual spot to set up with their range, and they're going to walk straight into that scatter nade, and you are going to wipe their cheekies out like they are fucking Nagasaki, I'm telling you, baby. Smack this guy down, this guy flies over, we hit him in the butt cheek. Unfortunately, melee does not connect. That's okay, we're going to switch over to our Syncopation really quick, smack him in the cheek holes, you know, the cheek holes that are inside of your head, and take him out. I'm blinking forward here, you can see I was just ready to take shots in midair with my Syncopation. Like I was saying to you in the intro, you have to remember, you have plus 30 to your airborne effectiveness when you have your Astrocyte Burst on. So do not be afraid to engage in those midair battles if the need is there. You can see that Scatter Nade right there is also another very, very good Scatter Nade. People get stuck peeking in that area that they're out right there, and they kind of have nowhere to go, and if you get a good Scatter Nade right in that nook there, you can really take them out very, very easily. Now I'm going forward here, I blink to the left of this guy. This is what I'm telling you. Do you see the range that I blinked into that first guy? Since I have the increased range, a 100 range precision frame shotgun, I knew I could blink a little further away from him than I would have if I was using a lightweight frame shotgun. Keep that stuff in mind, learn your ranges with your weapons, and see, okay, I can blink within 2 meters of this guy if I really want to get this kill, although that's very risky, or I have this longer range, I can blink within 6 meters of this guy and then slide onto him and still take him out. I know people think that you cannot slide when you are going in with a shotgun. I smack this guy with a sword here. There's your inaugural, well, not inaugural, but your sword play for the day. You guys always want to see that one sword play. You're like, Roger, give me a sword play, baby. There it is for you. Now, you can slide with the shotgun, okay? Do not get it twisted. Also, screw Titans, look how strong that freaking shoulder charge is. People say shoulder charge is balanced because it's not a one-shot. Okay, let's see right here. He shoulder charged me, and then my entire eyeballs just filled with the blinding light that came out of the Traveler's asshole. What do you think I'm supposed to do in that situation? I only killed him because luckily for once in a million times, Bungie said here's an auto-lock melee, and I actually got to punch him in his left cheek again and take him out. You know, his cheeks might have deflated after I punched him again, but let's get this clear. When he comes in and shoulder charges me, and I was at full health, right? And he's just going to punch me again. If I had not done that initial damage to him and then got the extra kill, or secured the kill, I mean to say, with that melee, then the shoulder charge is technically still just a one-shot kill. You understand what I'm saying? If they're coming in and you can't even see them to engage in the fight and they're already touching you and all they have to do is click their melee button one more time, then it might as well be a one-shot kill. Because when you take away the enemy's ability to even fight you, then who cares if it takes one more punch? They can't fight back. You know what I mean? And that's my problem with a lot of shoulder charges. I saw that guy fly past me with his blink, and I knew he'd probably chase me, so you see him on the radar there. I was just kind of playing Ring Around the Rosie with that son of a gun, and then I saw my teammate spray his cheekies down. I thought that was pretty funny. Coming in mid here, this is what I mean. Blink behind this pillar is going to be very good cover for you. Just make sure you're watching yourself. When you blink into mid here and you start aiming onto a location, as I do with the left side most of the time, that's good, okay? You can take that aim, but you need to be ready within a couple of seconds to check your radar and say, okay, how are my surroundings? Do I see radar pings to my left? Do I see radar pings to my right? And once you have that awareness of where are my enemies, that is the good stuff. This is probably my favorite play of the entire day. I love how much I ran around my enemies here, juked them out with the blink so beautifully, used my abilities, just intertwined everything so amazingly. And when you get those plays where you can intertwine your entire kit together and just have that beautiful string of kills, it's just really when the game starts to feel very, very nice and you have those nice fluent moments. So that probably was my favorite clip from this entire video. But you let me know if there was a better play in your opinion. Give me a timestamp if you're going to do that, because I don't always know. Now here I want to talk about something. There was these two guys in front of me, and you can see, sure, I got one kill and we do end up cleaning up the second one, but I did make a mistake there. My mistake was not having good target prioritization. I freaked out a little bit and I said, oh my god, there's so much choice in front of me, you know? It's like I basically walked into a freaking Golden Corral buffet and I had the entire dessert menu in front of me. I had the freaking chicken pot pie and the short rib stack in front of me, you know, and I was just a gluttonous son of a gun, and I started munching on everything, including the booty cheeks. But listen, I wasn't ready for dessert yet. I haven't even had my main course. So listen, this is what I'm saying. You got those two choices in front of you. Make sure you eat your peas and carrots before you go digging into that fudgy brownie. That's all I'm trying to say. I think you get what I mean there. But what I'm trying to say in simple terms is, hey, figure out your target prioritization, because if you can just kill that first guy, then you can go to the second one. I know it gets overwhelming sometimes and you just see so much choice in front of you, so you flick around. I do the same thing. That's why I showed you that clip, so I can show you I make the same mistakes as anyone else. We're all human, you know, at the end of the day, we all screw up sometimes. You guys are like, oh, your blink plays are solid, and yeah, they are. But sometimes I make a mistake too, especially when I do my live commentary. You'll see me make blink mistakes, and it's always funny when someone comments, is like, I thought you were supposed to be a blink master, and I'm like, I am a blink master, yeah, 100%. I make mistakes, you know? Sometimes I blink into a wall. Sometimes I blink my little booty cheeks right off the damn map. And that's gonna happen don't be discouraged if you're trying to get into blink right now and you're making those mistakes and you're throwing yourself off the map, or you're blinking straight into an enemy and you're getting taken out because you don't understand those ranges yet that you should be engaging with something like a shotgun in your blink. That's going to happen, especially when you start, but it's going to happen the entire time you're playing because everyone makes mistakes. So keep that in mind and don't get discouraged. I think the biggest part of why people quit blink and they think it's kind of more of a joke than anything else is because they get discouraged when they're trying to use it and they're making those mistakes. Especially when you start blink, you're going to be making a lot of mistakes and you just need to push through those, as with anything else in life, and you will get there, I promise you. So just be patient, you know. I didn't wake up one morning after using blink and I was like, holy hell, I feel the void calling my name. No, I woke up and I was like, man, I am absolute dog cheeks, but I have the determination, the will, and the want to get better with this, and I did, and now I can say that I'm pretty darn good with it. Coming into a last blink plays here, we can see this guy's in front of me again. Ranged shotgun, look how much I just blew up his cheek holes with that nade. I fly in, I map this guy pretty well, I'm looking for the next one, I blink over him, I shoot him pretty good. Apparently only 3 pellets hit there, and as well, I did not get a lock on with my melee. You know, I don't agree with that, but hey, Bungie be Bungie. We're gonna blink forward here. This is our second to last play. So I do want to say thank you guys so much for watching. I would very much appreciate it if you'd like to leave me a like on the video, because that really just shows YouTube, hey, I'm enjoying this content, and then they can go ahead and they can show this content to other people, and that really just helps me, you know, get my videos out there and grow my audience and have even more of you guys to talk to and just engage with, and that's one of the best parts about my day. Especially if you want to come down to the description, like I said earlier, join the Blinkfield Discord server. We're always talking there, having a good time. You know, one of my mods right now is going on a streak of making all these crazy emojis, so if you want to dedicate yourself to giving him some emoji ideas, and maybe you become a mod in my server one day yourself, we would love to have you. Come on in and join. It's always a fun time in there. Oh, I blink behind this guy. I absolutely smoke his cheeks like a nice brisket, baby. Sorry, Notorious Joe. You're notoriously dead, my dude. Flying in here. Oh, nice little grenade launcher. And I shoot this guy, and my bullets hit an invisible wall. But yeah, that's all I have for today. So, as always, have a great day, Guardians.